Perspectives is a 15-week course that examines in multiple sections God's heart for the nations as woven through the entirety of Scripture, a history of missions, and a look at God and culture, as well as ending with a strategic section to help believers understand how they can best fit into God's plan, whether abroad or here at home. One of the strengths of Perspectives is that each lecture is taught by a different instructor, so that every week has a unique flavor brought by the speaker's unique perspective and experience. Perspectives changed the way I read the Bible. It really brought to life the fact that the whole Bible is a single story from beginning to end that ties it all together. It also shifted my understanding of missions from being something that was people-centric, something that people accomplish for God, to something that was God-centric, looking to see where He's already working and asking how we can be a part of what He's doing. This makes learning to live missionally instead of an obligation. It makes it a privilege, something that we get to do. One of the course instructors told us that God doesn't give us a map with step-by-step directions. He gives us a compass, which is a focus and a purpose. And that is something that I have looked for in my whole life. God's really given me a desire to use my life for ministry. One of the things that I learned from taking the course is that ministry, like missions, isn't about me and what I'm doing. It's looking to see where God is working and the amazing fact that He asks us to be a part of what He's doing. The course opened my eyes to the fact that there are so many nations right here in the Pullman-Moscow area, and so many ways that we can connect with them and reach them while they're here, because some of them come from countries we can't get into, whether that's welcoming a student on campus or teaching a preschooler from another country to know and love Jesus Christ. The opportunities abound, and that makes this a very exciting place to be. Perspectives is for all believers. It's a lot about missions, but it is more than that. You don't necessarily have to go overseas after you take the course. You might, and you might feel more empowered to do so after taking the class. You might also just find that your heart is more open to considering missions than it was before. You might find yourself praying more for missionaries and unreached peoples, or finding new ways to support missionaries and mission organizations. You could share what you learned from the class with others, or you could serve in a local ministry that reaches internationals right here. Perspectives is a commitment, and the level at which you take the class will determine how much you interact with the class through reading and homework and other assignments. But my challenge would be, if you take the class, that you think of it not as an academic study, but as more of a chance to listen to what God has to show you through the class. If you approach it with an open heart, you could be surprised what God reveals about Himself to you through taking this class. The one thing that's guaranteed is you probably will come out of the class with a new perspective. Perspectives is more than a class, it's a movement, and you're being invited to be a part of it.